Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to go ahead and do the Holistic and Holistic review. We're going to do Holistic with a W again. We did it in the beginning of the week, and then we're going to look at Holistic, which is basically everything and anything about the healthcare system. I'm seeing that as a psychic, it's really is a change overnight, and it really went down to a quarter, to a penny, to a dime. But really, when it came down to like a nickel and dime it went down to like wanting to file for libel, but then you can't even file libel. You can't even do like empty bed funds. You can't even get anything of that nature because you just can't even like get flowers on the floor anymore. So basically, there's no interference on it today so far. It's trying to change a dialect because it's heinous. But when I see this to the highest extent of all, it really comes in as strength to in reverse. It's absolute weakness. So when you walk in and you like, it's part of universal precautions. It really is. Who would have known that actually people who are on universal precautions to certain things, you can't have flowers on the floor because they're going to get so sick, so sick. So when I look at it to the highest degree, it really is a place of rest. It's a place of observancy. It's a place of like everything that is supposed to be. So when I look at it and I say, there really is something to it. What is the observancy? Everything and anything and something and nothing. So when I look at it on a far out, it really explodes out. And there really is no lack of a better term, especially when you can't even get a GI consult. It's heinous. It really is. The trolling to the derogatory comments about the healthcare whole nature in the community to where you have to say it point blank as they say it verbatim is so bad that you can't even see a run done. They can't even exercise. So when I see this, I see there's no paperwork on the table. I mean, most of it's electronic anyways. But when I actually see paperwork on the table, they just leave their discharge summary now. So when I see this, you have to say, were they working their magic right on the floor? Because it was left behind. So when I see it and I see the King of Wands and I look to the King of Wands and I say, it really sits honorably. And when you see honorably, you have to say it really does. Everything looks fine. It looks well. They're pleasant. They're appropriate. They're cooperative. They really are adherent to their plan of care. They're meeting their goals. But then when you actually go down and they're trying to like incorporate other modalities of healing, like what we say with holistic with a W, when they want to have Reiki, you can't have anyone with Reiki. Like, where is the collaboration? And that's where I at least let off. But when I'm seeing it as a psychic, it really is still a no, forego it. Just forego it. I said, that's heinous when you have to forego it. They're trying to do everything and anything, something, nothing. But in reality, you can't even believe how hard it is. Is it a little deceitful? To a degree. To a degree. So when I look at it, I said, it's not nitpicky. This is everything. It's just being like matter of fact psychic, a point blank psychic. As we see it, hear it, and feel it, you go, there really is something to it where you can't even believe it. So greed, yeah, that has been on the table about how healthcare is a little greedy. Reality, this is reality. So when I see it too, it really causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of like grief to where it's animosity on the floor and even walking into the emergency room. When I see this, you can actually see it almost like this guy is standing guard. And then you see judgment, and then you see how it played out in California, where they literally sat there and waited at the docks at the VA. It really is. When I'm seeing this, you have to say you can't even believe how it really goes higher and forward. So when I actually go to it and I go, is it a source? Is it like dictative? Is it anything of that nature? You have to say it really is just a laptop computer, the normal video specs. That's all it is. It really is. Propel forward, yes, down to water, like nitpicky with water. When I see this and I like look at it, it's really is a little bit more hyper vigilant everywhere in healthcare. So as I'm seeing it right now, a, a little bit as like psychic vision around in the area, it's they're really trying to clean their areas and be prepared, like in case the DPH really does come in, and being upholding to standards, and being also cognizant that not everybody can tolerate incense. When you see this and you see the Queen of Wands, they're it's about sitting well, meaning this, sitting well where they're calm and that they can easily get their words out. It's already been foreseen. Already, like they're sitting and they're planning on how to do this. When you say there was no logic, there really is like a blocking of actual sinuses. So when I look at it as like politics comes into military or anything of insurance, when it comes through it, it really is like verbatim. You really have to do your research where you sit down with legal and say, I have to actually make sure this is all locked down in my name. When I look at it to the highest, all of it, you can't even see it. It's about prudency and actually just having a small path. That's all it is. So where is this? Is this gibberish? Is it like anything of nature where it's a roundabout to like a runaround? So it really is malpractice. The sun, all of it. Where is this going as far as current events? It's still on table. It's a lock. It's a block. It's stagnation. There really isn't much to talk about. Except for sinuses. Really nasty sinuses everywhere again. You go, where is this coming from? Securement, reticence. Reticence is a way of retribution where you get it all done for fun. But it really isn't. It's a disappointment loss. Yes. So when I say I'm looking at someone and they're like, yeah, they're doing reticence, it literally means they were so impeded that they will sit there and say one piece of paper at a time. Vindictive. The world, they're trying to complete everything as much as they can daily. But 2 cards came out. Here we go. So we got the 2 of Pentacles to the Page of Wands. It really does get fired up when you say medical malpractice. Steal? No. It really is like a takeaway of energy. So what is this takeaway of energy that has been around for the week? Because first there was a lock block on contracts for like Reiki and other modalities of healing that are natural. Law enforcement. The type of law enforcement that we've been through before. We want to feel like in the 1950s. It's really like 1948. Let's see. What else do we need to know? There you go. When I see this point blank, as I see as a psychic, it's going to be a railroad. It's going to be a train. It's going to be somewhere north. It's going to be feeling like it came from the south. It's just normal goods coming up. And then when you say it as it came out, it really goes to just normal city, town, and state law enforcement. And they're sitting there and just normal. Healthcare, it's just a kick above a tick above. Like, we had more sinus infections. We had more falls. We had more anything of that nature. When I'm seeing it as someone who's driving around, I'm like, it's a little bit more humid. The way that the weather patterns are is a little odd. It seems like some recklessness is coming in, and everyone laughs. And then you say it's really nasty emotions. Like there's almost no emotions to blocked. And then you look at it and you go, was that an ending? I don't know. Judicial justice? Yeah. So what is the difference between judicial and justice when it comes to healthcare? It really is sitting in observancy. That's all it really is. Again, here you go. 9 of Pentacles, prudency. There's something about prudency in both like big healthcare, mainstream healthcare, to natural healthcare, as we call it, like with other modalities. and about resting. What are the patients doing at rest? Righto, as far as this goes, it really means a rule of thumb. Rakana, what has been created? Assets. So healthcare proxy, power of attorney, conservatorships. Strength. Where are their strengths up into like balance? Wealth. What are they really good at? Like what would make them wealthy? Then all of a sudden you go sitting at rest. Really sitting at rest. When you look at this and you say, when you say Daga, it really is a little bit of a hold up. Is it practitioners that actually go around? Like home care, visiting nurses, PT, OT, speech, probation, believe it or not. Why is probation getting in here? Havoc. Let's look at it, Sarah. Why is probation like coming into holistic and holistic? Five of Pentacles in reverse. You can't even see this. There's like a really hard ending. So Five of Pentacles, there's a type of like money loss. Endings, not actual death. Difficulty, burdens. Daughter of Swords, there's something about air. The Ten of Cups goes, this is actually really bad. On how it's playing out to the highest degree of none. When it goes to the Chariot, it goes, hold up. There's like a huge paper. There's writing, typing, done now. Can't even see it. Can't even see it coming. So as I look at this, and I see Nadis, which is night, and then you see like Hagal, which is havoc. Faded is true. You couldn't even see it coming. Like it wasn't foreseen. It was just right there. So impulsive, like the fall risks. Why is probation in this reading? It flowed through. So when it flowed through, it literally means, is it a full moon? It really is tomorrow. It's going to come in strong, really strong. Learning how to be human in a world of it. Yeah, changes in perspective. I feel like there's some sort of all of a sudden like incorporation in. Are they tagging along probation? Other agencies into these home care visits after huge issues, diving deep. All right, so let's just a little bit like a deep dive. So, going back to the 50s and 60s, and you had McCarthy and you had Hoover, FBI and CIA, they really went like, can't do it, won't do it, and then they can't sue it. They can't bring it into court. But literally, they can like run it all day long. And it doesn't go to court. So when you see this, you pave a new path, be the leader wish you had. They're trying to make strides down to striations. So when they looked at everyone post-World War, and like Korea and up through almost Vietnam. They had to create new solutions and beginnings. So as I look at it, holistic, there's like people actually come in, like actual counselors. Is that the question on the table? Are you willing to have all these people after all these major instances, have them there? Or is it going to make you uncomfortable? So when I see this, I see transmission activation, crystal grid. I feel it has to do with some sort of alignment. Again, contracts, boundaries, questioning everything, anything online must go. This is a huge shift from like the beginning where it was positive of like a merger of like doing something good down to something that's a little bit more heinous. Where was this flip? Soul plan, the fated life, and the destiny life. I feel like this is desecration of an era, like a time like 1950, 1961, something of that time frame. Here we go. Play an oracle. Expansion, compassion. Yes, I feel like there is something about 1980, 1981. Call centers, like they're calling in 911. Dispatch. When you see this and you see light language, I have to say there was something of like a word to it. They already knew it. It's like right there. And when you see this, like the heart goes out to it. Service, absolute service members, like first responders. So first responders, you see it, you hear it, you feel it, and then you look at it and you go, sound codex. It really is like, where is this going? Where is this going? This is what the patients are like. I'm hearing a little bit of the patients and clairaudience. They really had enough of everything. That's what I'm hearing. Still to today, there has been no changes. Why is there a huge flip where we're going to do it? We're going to have this great opportunity and we're going to get everything that our patients need. And then it went to, no, we're going to lose our retirements. No, they're doing audits. No, they're doing this. No, they're doing that. No, we can't have it. And the patients are like, we need to get taken care of. It's almost a type of trolling. Song of your soul. What merger actually happens that is unbeknownst? That's what I'm getting out of that. Transmission. There really was like re-ups, at least out here in Connecticut. It's just normal. Every like so often and every few years they have to sit down with the insurance companies and they have to re-up. All right. More GI symptoms. So when I see this Five of Pentacles again, like there's no money, they can't pay for anything, and then they're in collections, and then it goes to legal, and then it goes to actual court cases. When I see this and I see the Page of Cups in reverse, it's like literally when pigs fly. Are you gonna get the money? You're a thief because you came in here and you were sick. We took care of you, and now you owe us money. That's where everyone is getting upticked again. Let's talk about behavioral health, cognitive health, everything. Where is this biggest issue with new contracts? Lying in wait, actually saying if they're telling the truth or not. Again, up-rest, yes. So most people know the way that each individual licensed practitioner deals with their patient is a form of justice. And when you see it, it is a patient path, like patience, not a patient, spelled differently. Turbulent and force, always when you first meet, it's always turbulent and force. Nastiness, toxic masculinity, I'd have to say walking in, like everything about them is sick. To where they are in a masculine energy, and no pun intended, that they just know. They just know it is this. This is what this card is representing. So when I see it, you can't get together running anyone. This 3 of Cups means you can't. We already know these things. You're talking on a roundabout. No, there's something dig, dug, dig. They heard it like before they came in, like, maybe I could do this. Wishes fulfilled, unfulfilled wishes. Counterintuitive to where there's no epiphanies. There's just nothing working on as a psychic. 7 of Pentacles, no. And you go, absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you look at this and you say, where is this actually going? Hydrate flower. So when you see it and you say it's not manifested anywhere, when you look at it, it's like all of healthcare, even down to chiropractic, it wasn't manifested this way. It all means something, but it's nothing. And then when you actually look at the way the contracts are with healthcare and insurance and everything, you have to say, where is it actually going? There's a huge block on why we were going to have this huge change, as we saw as a psychic in the middle. This is a huge cut of what I see, a median of energy. And now it's like, no, there's just no way. There's just no way that we can actually have like a merger with holistic and like big healthcare. There's like a lack of team. There's a lack of learning, a lack of apprenticeship, retainment. We already know that. So even as this, it's like this with me. Like I can't even see past my nose. Like, where is this going? This is nasty. Nasty. King of Wands. And then you say, should I even have a show? Or wait like 2 or 3 weeks? Not sure. But there is still like a form of honor. But then you see the train tracks, and then you see other things going on. Why do I feel like there's 3 meetings? Honor. What is honorable about this? There's like a form of stability, balance. There's something about physical therapy, balance, vestibular damage. They can't hear. So when someone has vestibular damage, they actually are off balance. They'll trip and fall all the time, up to tripping up. To a roundabout conversation. So is it actually like hard? Are you still psychic or medium or clairvoyant? You are. It comes in spurts and sometimes sensory overload. Turning point. That's why sometimes having this is a little bit, not speaking as myself. What is this walking away harsh turning point that actually secures like everything monetarily for both holistic and holistic? That's what it's saying right now. Securement, again, securement. That's what the 4 of Pentacles means, instead of reticence, which is retribution. They're not happy about it. Why is Legoland part of that? No, like equal give or take or offerings on the table when it happens. I'm seeing a February of 2019. Like a harsh ending, untimely death, to something of, I finally won that court case. It wasn't hard. It really wasn't hard. But all of a sudden, I just didn't hear anything. There was something about you won't hear it. Like you're sitting alone. Many people are sitting alone when they finally get the news that it's, come on, let's go. And let's actually talk about this at the table. All right, what else? As far as like down in Texas, what I'm seeing and what was like thrown out a little bit in energy was talk about flowers. Something simple, post-trauma. Alone, like they almost seem psychic. I feel like they're just still tracking energy. That's part of being psychic, tracking energy. Will they keep it? Page of Swords. How do you support it? Neurology. All these things are at the table. These are all the questions. How is this related to actual, like the meetings at the show on Wednesday, where you can't cut away at anything with the president at the table? So you got South Africa. We had the issues in Texas right now, again. And then we have healthcare and contracts. They call it the elephant in the room. Something about India. Here it is. So like I said, as I know, and I feel the pull, when you stop shuffling, you go 3 ones. So India, elephant in the room. I'm seeing about all-seeing eye, third eye, pineal gland, opening up. Can't even do. Something about money. Looking into it. Like when I do this, like they're looking, I'm like flipping pages in a book. Where was this? Where was this? There was some sort of communication, all forms of communication about India, about contracts, about all of it. 9 of Cups in reverse. Again, GI. There's something about GI. Coffee, cup of joe. Let's go to the poker cards. Military, boots on the ground. Incomplete cycle of this. So you have this, you got black, then you have 2 suits, but it makes a 10. It literally means about 2 to 8 months. Flights. That's all that was. That was a little too harsh. So 2 to 8 months in healthcare. When it goes about, it actually is looking at should they keep you on the caseload or not. So let's look at the Akashic Tarot. What else do we need to know? Up in the air. It's something about like flights home or like post vacation, and then they have GI symptoms. Ears popping still, where they can't get anything done, or like maybe start new projects. Something at night flights. Scribe, documented before 1992 and 1998 about flying. Reflection, they don't even look in the mirror. They just go and do. They'll sit and play games all day. When you see this, like their energy is what they used to call dispersed. Haywire, like they're strong. Bird's nest in reverse, it literally means just like PTSD. PTSD. Crocodile to cheetah. High school antics. This is almost like a little bit too much even for this show. Bird. Now from elephant. All about integration or incorporation from like VA, like veteran benefits to other things, to all of it. When I see this is something like of an enigma that shouldn't have been talked about. When I see this, it's like between a 5 and 9 p.m., which is like where we measure the circadian rhythm for phaeters on huge changes in physical status. When I look at this, like you have to go to the algorithm. Like if someone works in CCU or ICU or the ED, they actually follow an algorithm on certain things. When you see tarantula, it's fix it immediately as soon as you find it. So when I see this, actually it's like a type of med box. It's a carousel box. It's old. They really don't use it anymore. They usually blister packs, or they use like a carousel, which is like a tower, and then they just dispense, like the tower dispenses it. When I see this, I see zebra. It's rare, but basically you have to prove everything to the insurances. When I see stingray, are they actually in the on position? Or are they off? Elk, I have to say hunting. Sometimes like hunting. Where is this going? Earthworm. Anyone go out fishing lately? It's just recreation. They're trying to relax and decompress. What are we finding? What do we need to know? Those who are like listening down in that area. So fishing, water, recreation, what kind of like everything about down there is going to pop up that we needed to know, because it will come here everywhere. Perspectives, fate, how's this going to affect just simple homes? Appetite, drowsiness, increased fatigue, natural disasters, rain currents, concentration, alignments, all forms of the meaning, to being alone, wanting to be alone a little bit, clearing out energy, absorbing what is not yours. So basically, that is it. So with any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share, an email. Classes on Patreon. A subscribe is great also. We will talk to you soon, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a good day.